Why do wild boars continue to cause so much destruction all over the world, despite the fact that steel cage traps are widely regarded as an efficient method of capturing them? Is it possible that the way in which humans are utilizing this method contains a significant flaw? Watch the video to learn the secrets that have been kept hidden. At this point in time, wild boars are among the most harmful invasive species that can be found in the United States. From a mere 2 million in the year 1990 to approximately 9 million in the year 2019, their population has skyrocketed, and they are now spread out across at least 39 states. And it's not just the United States of America. Additionally, countries such as Australia, Germany, and Spain are experiencing difficulties as a result of the damage caused by these various creatures. Controlling them, on the other hand, is particularly difficult due to the fact that they reproduce at an alarming pace and are found all throughout the United States. In addition to causing up to $1.5 billion in economic harm annually, wild and feral hogs are a major source of destruction for agricultural crops. They are capable of reproducing at such a rapid rate that their numbers will continue to steadily increase until at least 60% of the population is eradicated annually in each region. The reproduction rate of this invasive species is particularly frightening, and if timely management measures are not implemented, the situation has the potential to spiral out of control. The United States Department of Agriculture, and numerous states have all contributed millions of dollars to initiatives that aim to manage feral hogs as a response to the severity of the problem. As an additional aggressive action, the use of the toxin catfoot has been authorized for use beginning in the year 2024 in the states of Texas and Oklahoma in particular. The corral trapping strategy is the one that is utilized the most frequently among the many different methods that are being employed. However, a large number of farmers implement it wrongly, which renders their efforts futile. On the other hand, these intelligent animals swiftly adapt and learn to avoid the traps. In this lesson, we will investigate the correct method of trapping and identify the typical errors that impede farmers from attaining the outcomes they want. Because of these characteristics, corral traps are the most suggested and ideal alternative for controlling feral hogs on a wide scale. It is possible for these big traps, which have diameters ranging from 30 to 40 feet, 9 to 12 meters, to capture a whole sounder in a single drop. This reduces the likelihood of the hogs escaping and prevents them from learning how to avoid traps in the future. The height of the traps must be at least 5 feet or 1.5 meters in order to prevent hogs from jumping out of them. In addition, the utilization of a gate that is actuated by a remote rather than a gate that is manually operated increases the likelihood of capturing the full sounder rather than just a few stragglers. It is recommended that trap walls be constructed from durable steel panels rather than weak materials that are readily broken. This is because wild hogs are incredibly nimble and can easily escape from a trap that is not sufficiently sturdy. On the other hand, regardless of how well designed a trap may be, it is effectively useless if it is put in the incorrect position. The positioning of a trap is seen to be the most important component in determining how successful it is, as indicated by research conducted at Texas A&M University. Due to the fact that feral hogs like to congregate in areas close to water supplies, these areas are excellent. A large boost in the likelihood of a successful capture can be achieved by positioning traps in regions where wild hogs are known to move often. It is imperative that you check for obvious indications of their presence, such as soil that has been uprooted, wallowing traces on the ground, or prominent hoof prints that have been embedded in the soil. The process of pre-baiting the area for 3 to 7 days allows feral hogs to grow accustomed to the location of the trap, which in turn creates a sense of safety and increases the likelihood that they will enter without becoming suspicious. This straightforward method has the potential to increase success rates by as much as 60%. One of the most useful pieces of advice is to soak maize in water and then allow it to ferment for approximately 1 week. The powerful, pungent, and fermented odor of this bait is particularly appealing to wild hogs because of where it comes from. A farmer in Texas said that he was able to capture up to 28 wild hogs in a single night by positioning his trap close to a creek and using fermented maize as bait. In this case, it is abundantly evident that when the appropriate methods are utilized, the outcomes might go much beyond what was anticipated. It is possible to use fermented maize, but you may also use fruits such as watermelon, peaches, or apples. This is especially beneficial during hot seasons, when feral hogs are looking for sources of water and juicy food. Specialty baits that are high in protein can also be effective in attracting larger sounders. On the other hand, the use of fermented corn as bait is one of the most typical blunders that people make. Traps should be set without first conducting extensive research on the habits of feral hogs. This is the key to success. At night, when they are most active, these animals are most active between the hours of 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Because of this, it is essential to leave the trap gate open during the first few nights. This allows the hogs to easily enter and depart the trap, which allows them to gradually become accustomed to the setting and feel safe approaching the bait. You should wait to activate the remote trap gate until you have determined that around 80% of the sounder consistently enters the trap that you have set up. As a result, the likelihood of catching the entire group as opposed to just a few individuals is increased significantly. When managing a wild hog population, timing and precision are absolutely critical. If you act too hastily and initiate a trapping operation before the full sounder group has become accustomed to the trap, you may end up capturing only a small portion of the hogs. This can be a costly mistake, as the remaining individuals will continue to reproduce at a rapid pace, and in time, could return in even larger numbers, exacerbating the very problem you were trying to solve. Patience during the pre-baiting and conditioning phase is essential to ensuring a successful and impactful capture. One of the most common and detrimental errors in hog trapping is prematurely triggering the trap before the entire group has fully entered and feels comfortable within the trap enclosure. If wild hogs sense danger or experience a negative event during their early interactions with the trap, they are highly likely to develop a strong aversion to it. This mistrust can result in them avoiding the trap area permanently, rendering future trapping efforts at that location significantly less effective or even futile. Wild hogs are incredibly intelligent and quick to adapt to perceived threats, making them particularly challenging to manage. In addition, leaving already captured hogs inside the trap for an extended period poses another serious risk. These animals, when stressed or frightened, tend to emit loud distress vocalizations. These sounds can act as warnings to other members of the sounder who have not yet entered the trap, causing them to retreat and develop a heightened sense of caution around that area. This behavior disrupts the trapping process and may lead to a loss of future opportunities for effective capture. Consequently, it is crucial that once the trap is triggered, the captured hogs are removed and handled as swiftly and efficiently as possible. Quick response minimizes stress among the captured animals and prevents them from alerting others. Moreover, relocating the trap to a new area every few months has proven to be a smart and proactive strategy. By doing so, hunters and wildlife managers can prevent the hogs from forming long-term avoidance behaviors associated with a single location. This rotation disrupts their learning patterns and maintains the trap's effectiveness over time. In summary, successful hog trapping depends on a thoughtful and strategic approach, one that balances patience with decisiveness and incorporates both behavioral insight and practical action to manage this invasive species effectively. How about you then? Is it possible that you or someone you know has ever employed cage traps to keep wild pigs under control? Describe your experience or share your story in the comments section below. We have a long way to go before we can declare victory over this invading species. This is extremely useful knowledge that is not well known. You ensure that you do not miss out on our forthcoming in-depth information. Make sure you click the subscribe button.